Okie dokie. Tonight is the 23rd of October, Wednesday. Okay, so all joking aside, why did Mr. Milo cross the road?
In 1,000 feet, turn right.
Because his dick was stuck in the chicken. Okay, so anyways, we have to be serious. We're not allowed to tell jokes. We're not allowed to have emotion. We're not allowed to quote lines from movies, because these are all reckless, out-of-control behaviors which launch worldwide mobs to kill you and eradicate you with corrupt lawyers in the judicial system and all sorts of things like that. Starting at 5 years old. Yeah, I know. It makes perfect sense, right? Okay, so anyways, it's obviously not about anything like that. It's just about your kind cannot exist, and we're going to exterminate, eradicate Kevin's kind, whatever they mean by that. Okay, so let's see. What is tonight's diary entry or video blog?
Turn left.
I don't know. It's like I feel like when I say diary, it's like such an outdated term or something. But so call it whatever you want. Video blog, diary entry, whatever. It is a form of First Amendment freedom of speech about Kevin's life, which someone is really mad that Kevin has something to say about his life and the things being done to him. Gee, isn't that a little strange? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of people being told they're not allowed to address their emotions or communicate about things being done to them or things that they don't like. I've never heard of anything like that. But then what was Elsie Sandoval paid off by Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, and Lorena Escobar paid off by Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, running around saying, you had better do what we tell you in your private life, or we will hunt you down and kill you with worldwide support. No, that wasn't their direct sentence, but that's what they meant when they were thugging me in the office with 28 other employees, following me to the beach, or following me, having people follow me to restaurants, the beach, to pool halls, on dates, with people spying on me on dates, whatever. You do what we tell you, or we kill you, or we lock you away, or eradicate you, or all the above. We put you in a jail cell while we pay someone off to shank you, whatever. It's all the same thing. It's no different from slavery or what Adolf Hitler did to the Jews. It's the same thing. You know, it's just a different form of it. Okay? And so let's look at tonight's topics. And like usual, my topics are very scattered because I'm just sort of picking random thoughts out of my brain and putting them in note form, and then talk about it on camera so the world can understand what's behind the government, billions of dollars of government lies for 42 years about Kevin Perlman. What's the hate and rage? What is this hate and rage behind these government lies to launch worldwide campaigns with the psychology community, judicial system, to launch a worldwide extermination, eradication operation directed at me for reasons I can't comprehend? So let's go to the roots, like I always kind of do, and try to figure out where this anger and rage, which is equivalent to slave owners, which is equivalent to Adolf Hitler, this I don't like or trust Kevin Perlman, and I have all this insecurity about Kevin Perlman, therefore he needs to die or be put in cages. Just kind of like my father with Maggie, his English sheepdog, where he had in a cage when the cage could be running around the entire backyard, or my mother or my father with his dog Rhoda, where he put shock collars on Rhoda to control Rhoda. Interesting enough, the same name as the character from the movie, the 1946 Bad Seed, which Kelly Hatch sent after me to follow me up to Southern Oregon State College, wanted me to see so bad, while working with the police to try to set me up and frame me and make up her millions of lies. Right? Okay, the same thing that's been done to me my entire life since a young child. Having women follow me and then go, he won't leave me alone, he's stalking me. Okay, the cry wolf tactic. That's called the cry. I call that the cry wolf tactic. Whatever. Okay, so let's see what I wrote down on these notes, because there's usually things that sort of trigger the thought, and the thought is something from the past, because if you focus on the present, you're just going to get caught up dealing with newer and newer lies to try to divert me off the original topics of what's important. Just like when I go out and try to create a piece of work of art, or I go out and do a photo shoot, maybe it's a sunset at the beach or something, they do whatever it takes to have mass groups provoke me to try to divert and curve me to lose focus in some kind of angry rage since 5 years old that we don't want you leaving your house. And then if they can try to get me to the point where they can't get me, where they force me in my house, like scared in my house, which they haven't been able to do, then they go around and they say Kevin's crazy and he's afraid to leave his house. Okay, so they do this double-sided, work both sides of the fence with everything. For example, if I go to a coffee shop anywhere in the world, thousands of people will show up per hour. Maybe it'll start with 100 per hour, then it'll exponentially grow to 1,000 per hour. With the mental illness tactics, then they'll say, well, Kevin, if you don't like it at coffee shops, why do you go? You're crazy, you're obsessed, you're a nut job, whatever. But every single thing that's going on is the same since 5 years old. We don't want you playing pool, so now we're going to have mass people mob you. And then, when you stop going to pool hall, we're going to have the same people that mobbed you follow you from place to place, getting newer and newer groups to mob you, just like the Heather from Yankee Doodles, the redhead Heather from Yankee Doodles, working with Aubrey Fisher. Oh, it took us 6 years to stalk Kevin out of every pool hall worldwide, so now I'm going to follow him to Encino Starbucks and stalk him, and say that he's stalking me by pretending to get jobs where I'm going. And ironically, I'm also going to a psychiatrist, Alex Lazar, with a building next door, but yet they're going to leave out all the details and say, oh, Kevin's obsessed with this Heather girl. And then it switches to, it's my cousin Heather, and then it switches to the next tactic, and the next tactic, and then the next girl, and the next person, then racial comments, and this and that. Okay, so in this list of thousands of accusations by strangers I've never even talked to, usually, I've raped, I've pillaged, I'm a serial killer, I've probably chopped off 100 women's heads. Who fucking knows, right? They just keep jumping to the next one on a daily basis. But what gets freaky is they're usually working with the police. And that's where things fall apart. Because the police's job is to stop things like this, not tell people to do them. Okay, now remember, this starts at 5 years old. So what did I do at 5 years old? Well, I threw some mud in the street.
Turn right onto the ramp.
I threw some mud in the street, but my family, I guess, couldn't separate reality from fiction or something, so they think that throwing mud in some street that accidentally hits a car is the bad seed crime or something on a 5-year-old, which isn't even capable of any type of cognitive behavior that would even constitute that type of anger and rage, or hey, we have a 5-year-old that threw some mud in the street and hit a car, and he ran in the house scared and crying because the guy got out of the car upset, and he's like Tyler Durden. Hello, let's wake the fuck up, right? A 5-year-old like Tyler Durden. It's kind of like, I think it was my last dialogue where I was talking about the baby and the Family Guy. Is that who I am? Because last I checked, the Family Guy is a cartoon.
Turn right onto the ramp.
Right? The Family Guy is a cartoon. It's not real. Right? Okay? So if my family's sort of thinking that I'm like the baby in the Family Guy, and I'm an evil devil child, it's not fucking real. It's a cartoon. Someone drew it. And a writer wrote up a screenplay for a dramatized screenplay so that people would watch it, right? It's not real. Same with the movie The Bad Seed, for that matter, in 1946, or the movie The Grass is Greener in like 1960 or 50 or something. It's not real. It's a movie. Okay, so on the road again. There. All right, sorry, I'm doing my illegal singing crime, because that they would right there, they would say, just plagiarize the song. Hello, wake the fuck up. Okay, so where are my notes? I was looking through my notes here. Multitasking. Not you. Not you. Okay, so we've been diverted into Kid Taco. We've been diverted into Kid Taco. I'm talking. Although remember, Kid Taco, my friends called me Kid Taco because they didn't like the 69 Firebird I bought for $300, which was just a complete piece of shit. Had like a red headliner, Bondo on the sides, partially black, minus the Bondo, rusted crap wheels, whatever, just a piece of shit. So my friends called me Kid Taco, but we have been diverted like usual into something else. Now we're Kid Taco and we're crazy and we have no self-control apparently. Yet I have more self-control than anyone I know. How do you explain that one? Okay, so let's see. Let's look at my notes. My notes. Top of the notes. Remember, these are very kind of sporadic because I'm just pulling random thoughts and putting them down on digital paper. Heather from Yankee Doodles and Aubrey Fisher. That's all I put. What do you want to know? There's this big thing. I've supposedly done something to this redhead Heather from Yankee Doodles. I said hey to her. I committed the hey crime. Because Heather, who was told to mob me to death with an entire pool hall of people, employees, and having hundreds of thousands of people come in, whistling at me, harassing me, provoking me, wanting to play pool with me and harassing me, playing pool next to me and harassing me, walking by, one person sequentially after the next, going, barking, lashing out at rage at me, with the judicial mentality and the psychology mentality. Kevin, you're not allowed to defend yourself. Just sit there and take it until you're dead and gone or something really bad happens to you. Why would anyone tell me that? Well, Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, my father, who was paying off Mike Huntley to hunt me down and have me killed since a young child, also told me that. Kevin, you're not allowed to defend yourself. So what's going on in their heads? I hate my child. I want him dead and gone. Okay. Why I can't answer those questions other than a guy that just doesn't like his child and he wants to put his child down. Like, I don't like my child, I want to kill him. Just like you buy a dog and you go, I think my dog is violent, I want to kill it. Something like that, right? Well, that starts at 5 years old. I'm throwing this label on Kevin, and now I want to kill him. I don't want him in society. And then my father plays this game to try to turn it around on me. Kevin, I don't know how you live like you do. I think I mentioned this last dialogue. Well, you can't really answer him because he's not going to answer the question, but gee, Ronnie, how do I live? I lived just fine up until 29. After I found out you're paying off Mike Huntley to tell me, to threaten to have me killed, telling me, we're using the system against you, you're an out-of-control monster, dropping papers about making people mentally ill to kill them on my desk, and singing World of Paranoia over and over around the office, and in an angry voice saying, have a good life now, as if I did something to the fucking guy, but say, sure, Mike, you want to start an internet host provider? I'll fly back from Colorado to start it with you. How dare I? I ruined Mike Huntley's life. Okay, because he quit Amgen after making me fly back from Colorado to hunt me down, so I ruined his life. Okay, so, as if it's my fault that he came up with an idea to start a company. Okay, so, Heather from Yankee Doodles, obviously working with psychiatrist Susan Donner, who is telling me in her office that I'm harassing waitresses. Oh, time out here. Kevin is harassing waitresses. Kevin is in a private session. This is about 29 years old, by the way. Susan Donner on the Anita Perlman list of people that are going to help me into my grave. Gee, Susan Donner, in your private office, how the fuck do you know if I am or not harassing waitresses? Breach of confidentiality agreements, breach of information, privacy violations. How does she know that? And it doesn't matter what you tell her, she's going to keep jumping to the same conclusion that you're harassing waitresses. Well, that's strange. She shouldn't have this information unless something freaky is going on. But she won't address the story as a whole, right? The story as the entire, I'm harassing waitresses? No, they're harassing me. But she's not wording things that way. She's not wording things like a situation. She's not wording things like honest people do. A situation has occurred. This person has claimed you've done this or that to them. What happened? Well, the entire situation is Kevin said hey to me, so we're going to hunt him down and kill him with worldwide support. Oh, I'm sorry. I committed the hey crime. Anytime someone says hey to someone, the entire planet gets together with billions of government dollars in the psychology community to hunt someone down and eradicate them.
Turn left.
Did I miss something here? Did I totally fall off the wrong boat here into the wrong dimension? I've committed the hey crime to some piece of trash following me from place to place trying to have me hunted and killed with worldwide mobs since 5 years old, right? Okay, now if we're going to talk about Yankee Doodles employees, I can probably go through about 100 waitresses and Jay the manager and Monica and let's see if I can remember some of the names. Jay, Monica, geez, I can't remember a lot of names. If I sat down for a second, I could. Jessica didn't want to serve me Guinness for like a year, saying we don't have Guinness or something like that. Let's see, there was a redhead. I don't remember. I would have to spend some time to go back. But there was an Isabel. I supposedly did something wrong to this really good looking. I think, was she Mexican? I don't remember. Curly, dark skin, curly hair. Isabel. I supposedly did. All these people, I did horrible, mean things to them by not doing anything at all, by blinking, yawning, or burping, right? Okay. Needless to say, while the judicial system is having these people lash out in anger and rage on me, they're running around spewing out to the entire planet that Kevin's doing horrible things to these people by farting wrong near them. Or, better yet, not tipping them. If you don't tip a girl, a waitress, we're going to hunt you down with worldwide support and kill you. But let's take it to the entire story on that one. First, they get mad that I'm tipping $2. For example, like, let's say I buy a scotch, and I give them $2. First of all, that's a very generous tip for a scotch. For like a $7 scotch, $2. Okay. So then they get mad. You how dare you? You're lashing out in anger and rage. You tipped me $2. Now I'm going to fucking start provoking you with these paranoid schizo terror tactics. Remember, they're not saying anything directly. They're not saying, Kevin, you're a piece of shit. You only gave me $2 fucking. Or Kevin, what do you mean by $2? And I'd be like, are you fucking on your little banana, your psycho monkey babble? What the fuck are you talking about? I just tipped you $2, and what? That's not enough? Oh, but I've somehow wronged you because there's a 2. Of course, I don't know what the fuck's going on because who thinks like that, right? Okay, so then I try to be nice, and I tip $3. But guess what? They're not happy with 2s, and they're not happy with 3s. So we're still going to hunt you down, Kevin, because now you're doing something to us with 3s. But what's really going on here? What's the translation? Kevin, I don't fucking like you, and give me all your fucking money. Okay? And I'm sorry if that sounds a little harsh, but that's what's really going on. You see that guy over there? I want all his fucking money, and if he doesn't give me his fucking money, we're going to follow him to the depths of the earth with the judicial system and psychology community and mentally batter his skull in until he's dead and gone. So you give me all your fucking money, you give me your cars, you give me your house, and that's what's really going on here. It has nothing to do with me wronging a girl, a waitress named Heather, one of many hunting me down by saying, hey, right? Okay? Now, I followed almost every person worldwide that I'm in contact with works on me with the psychological warfare, judicial and government mental battering operations with cryptic messages to try to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo because I said hey to a girl? I don't think so. Okay? What this is about is you do what we tell you or we kill you. Or we lock you in cages. Okay? You give me all your money or I fucking rid you of the world. You lick the ass cheese out of my ass crack. Okay? That's what this is about. Nothing else. Now these things ultimately start with my family. So there's a big problem with that. Okay. Building these murder systems around me since a young child, especially in '94. So let's see. Heather, Yankee Doodles,
In 800 feet.
and Aubrey Fisher. Aubrey Fisher was clearly working with many people. And when I say she was working with many people, she was working with Rody Morales, sent after me by the LAPD to eradicate my existence.
1,000 feet. Turn right.
Hold on, I gotta shut off the annoying... There we go. Okay, so Aubrey Fisher, Rody Morales sent after me by the LAPD, Topanga Division. Actually, Topanga Division didn't exist back then. Topanga Division came around, I think, in 2009 on Schoenborn Street, trying to cover up the Kelly Hatch operations sent after me. And that was back around 91. Having her follow me from Calabasas High to Southern Oregon State College, working with the police to try to make it look like I was doing things to her, making up lies that I stole her car and things like this. Okay, so Aubrey Fisher. Okay, Rody Morales sent after me. Rody Morales staged to be my gym manager, and Mike Huntley wanting me to sign up to the gym by my house, planting Rody Morales there. Rody Morales befriending me and saying, Kevin, let's go to strip clubs. The fourth person in each and every state then saying I'm hunting down and trying to stalk strippers and porn stars and all this. I didn't freely go to strip clubs. He came in my life saying, let's go to strip clubs. Yet, it's irrelevant because there's no crime in going to strip clubs. Just like there's no crime in saying, hey, okay? So all these police operations, or government operations, or whatever you want to call them, with the psychology community, I've done nothing wrong. Well, maybe someone doesn't like me going to strip clubs. Maybe someone doesn't like me building adult websites. Maybe someone doesn't like me playing pool. Maybe someone doesn't like me going to coffee shops. But there's no crime there. There's only a crime saying, I don't like this person leaving his house, I'm going to hunt him down and eradicate him. That's the crime. That's the crime that this Heather from Yankee Doodles, which they're now trying to cover up, just like Kelly Hatch and so many others, claiming I've done things to them. I'm sorry. Were they upset in their own little perfect world of not getting what they want? In their little spoiled brat world of not getting everything they want, right? Is that what's going on? Like Heather didn't get what she wanted, so she's going to hunt me down and have me killed with the judicial system or locked away because she didn't get what she wanted, because they didn't ask her out, because I didn't know that she wanted me to ask her out. And to tell you the truth, I don't think she did want me to ask her out, because you don't follow some guy pretending you got a job where he is and then saying he won't leave me alone. Right? Okay, remember, Heather is just a number. She's a number to me. There have been girl after girl for 42 years told to play the cry wolf tactic on me, and no matter how much I kind of move on to try to find someone that isn't involved in this, that doesn't think this is wrong, it just goes to the next person, like Brittany has witnessed and is on video witnessing, that no matter how nice, no matter how perfect I am, person after person is told to try to eradicate my existence. Okay, so none of this is about anything but what I know. So Heather, I mean, I don't even know where to start with Heather. She's just the next waitress or person in line. I want to eradicate Kevin. How can we eradicate Kevin? They work on me for about 6 or 7 years at Yankee Doodles and every other pool hall worldwide. I finally end up stop playing pool because from, who knows, 2001 to 2008, I can't tell you the exact years, finally you're just sick of the abuse and they get what they want. Now, remember that just the pool hall alone, from 2001 to 2008, hundreds of thousands of people coming in the pool hall, worldwide, not just one pool hall, every single time I'm ever there, for 7 or 8 years alone, just at pool halls. Remember, this applies to everywhere: restaurants, coffee shops, everything. Okay, think about those types of murder operations. Okay, think about that. Remember, this has been going on since 5 years old, changing different methods. So now, oh poor Heather, Kevin left the pool hall. So now I gotta follow him with Aubrey Fisher to the Starbucks on Havenhurst and Ventura. Now keep in mind, there's 100,000 other things going on. There's the chess club coming in, taking turns on an anger and rage. We don't want your kind here. There's every employee worldwide at Starbucks and Coffee Bean in every coffee shop. We don't want your kind here, and we're gonna kill you. Random strangers, upwards of 100 to thousands per hour, especially at the Encino Starbucks, taking turns on me. I parked my car backwards once at the Encino Starbucks in 2011. Now, for the last 8 or 9 years, worldwide, people parking cars backwards in twos. Wait, so now you're saying I've lashed out at rage at the world for parking my car backwards once? That's the argument? Okay, so they have Heather follow me there, and then she comes up to me and she pretends like she's my friend or something, and she says to me, "Oh, Kevin, you're here?" Well, I've been going there for like 6 months before she got there, like usual. I said, "Yeah, you know." "Oh, well, I work over here." Now, do you really think this person worked over here, or do you think they pretended to get a job to say I'm stalking her and won't leave her alone? Okay, so, now remember, this tactic goes from girl to girl for 42 years, okay? So, this is just another number to me of I want Kevin dead. Well, come in the store where I work. Well, guess what? I know what she's doing and I don't go into the store. But does that matter? No. Because they have an agenda. Okay, now, let's break this down. Would it fucking matter if she really was working? If she really was coincidentally working? Would it really matter if she was coincidentally working in the same shopping center as a Starbucks I go to and try to chill out, relax, and meet people or get things done? No, of course it wouldn't fucking matter. These types of coincidences happen all day and night worldwide. Nobody gives a shit. Now, Kevin, go into where I work. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not fucking going into where this girl works after watching for 7 years prior every single person she worked with trying to have me hunted, killed, and eradicated. Correct? She didn't come up to me like an honest, real person going, "Kevin, I see what these people are doing, and that's fucked up and that's wrong." No, she came after me trying to control the situation, trying to silence me with all the, just like all the other videos you've seen, "You're a snitch, you're dead," and things like that. "You don't talk or we kill you." That's what she was doing. Kevin knows too much. Kevin might talk. We're going to try to finish the job. Okay, now keep in mind, also, I was followed by Aubrey Fisher to that Starbucks. And I walk up, Aubrey Fisher comes in, and after everything that Aubrey Fisher did, trying to tell the world that I'm a pedophile, telling the world that I ruined her life because I tapped my foot by her. Wait, we've just went from you said hey to a girl to you've tapped your foot by a girl, and that's justification for murder. Wait. Can anyone else, if I was in a classroom right now, raise your hand if anyone else here has been hunted down with worldwide support to be killed, or knows anyone that's been hunted down with worldwide support to be killed because you said hey to a girl or you tapped your foot by a girl. Oh wait, no one's raising their hand? You don't know one? You don't know anyone that this has ever happened to? You've never heard of anything like this? Well, that's because there is no such thing, except we're going to kill the Jew, or something like that. We're going to kill his kind. We're going to kill the Jew, okay, and make him think that it's his fault. Okay, so Aubrey Fisher comes into the Havenhurst Starbucks. I hadn't seen Aubrey Fisher in a couple of years, I think. I can recall having the flu or a cold and like snot coming out of my nose and shit. And I walk up to Aubrey Fisher and I go, I'm sick. And she jumps back like I tried to hit her or something, right? And then large groups start coming after me like I did something to Aubrey Fisher for just walking up saying I'm sick or whatever, and her dramatizing. Okay, remember some of my prior videos I talk about street theater, where they take perfectly normal events and make it look like the end of the world or things like this? Well, if I walk up to a girl and snot's coming out of my nose, and I'm like, I'm sick, and she jumps back like you just tried to kill her or something, that's street theater, okay? That's the Aubrey Fisher, you tapped your foot by me, and so you tried to kill me and things like that, right? It makes no sense, but remember that this information is going straight to LAPD. She's working with LAPD. She's working with my family, especially my mother, and she's working with the psychology community. So it doesn't matter how perfect you are, they're trying to collect, twist, and contort perfectly normal things and then disseminate it worldwide. Look what Kevin did now. And Kevin's a horrible monster, and Kevin's lashing out in anger and rage. But in reality, I'm just a perfectly normal human being. And even if Aubrey Fisher was offended by me tapping my foot by her, so much so that if she's that hypersensitive, just don't keep calling me asking me for fucking favors. Right? Okay? Isn't that the moral of the story, or how things normally play out? Look, Aubrey, if you don't fucking like Kevin, stop fucking calling him. Stop saying, Kevin, will you come out to my photo shoots and give me some technical expertise? And then hunt me down saying Kevin's competing with me. Right? I didn't call her. She called me. I just went out of my way for this person paid off by the police to hunt me down and kill me. And this applies to everyone. This applies to Victoria Walker, Michael Bialis, defense attorney Michael Bialis, Victoria's husband, Matt Von Malaki, which I co-signed for a wedding ring for him. Okay? If I'm fucking co-signing for fucking wedding rings for you and you're hunting me down to kill me saying I'm a horrible person, I'm sorry. I didn't have to co-sign for this piece of shit, this Jew-hating Nazi piece of shit. Sorry about my language, but it's the truth. This Jew-hating Nazi piece of shit murderer, I co-signed for him for a wedding ring. So if he's trying to say that I'm jealous of Victoria Walker or something and I hate him, why did I fucking co-sign for the wedding ring? Okay, think about that. He came to me asking me to co-sign. He had no money. Okay, or credit. So you get the idea that these people that are coming after me, I'm going out of my way. I'm bending over backwards for them. And it's, oh, Kevin tried to kill me. Kevin did this to me. Kevin did that to me. And it just goes worldwide. Okay, so then, how does it instantly go worldwide? Right? I'm sorry, if you go out on a date with a girl or a guy, every time you sneeze wrong during the date, does that go worldwide each time? No, of course not. So you have to take that into account, the context of the situation. Why is this girl, Heather, paid off to follow me from place to place, crying wolf? And why is the information going worldwide and everyone getting together saying hunt down and kill or eradicate Kevin Perlman? And the only argument they have isn't that I ripped off her clothes and raped her or anything. It's you said hey to me. That's it. You said hey to me, so I'm going to hunt you and kill you with worldwide support. And you lashed out in anger and rage at this Heather girl who was taking pot shots on you at a pool hall over and over and over with about 100 other waitresses. And all she can say is, you said hey to me? They didn't do anything wrong? Let me tell you, the video footage I have of the things being done to me at the coffee shops, thousands of people per hour taking turns in anger and rage on me, the verbal form, the cryptic form, was going on easily back then at Yankee Doodles pool hall and every other pool hall with Heather and every other motherfucking waitress, taking turns, and Jay the manager, and Tim Thompson, who was friends with Jay the manager, Tim Thompson, who I let in my office. I gave him free office space, who was working on all sorts of angles with Hot Body International and things like this, trying to set me up and frame me, for giving Tim Thompson free rent, who was friends with the manager Jay at Yankee Doodles, telling all the waitresses to attack me. Oh, I dropped my... I dropped my water top. Okay, so you get the idea of the connected events here, right? All these people I'm letting in my life. Hey, Tim Thompson, you build websites too, you do IT, well, here's some free office space so we can come up with some innovative ideas. Oh, well, I'm going to spend my time coming up with innovative ideas of how to hunt down and kill Kevin Perlman. Okay, well, that's strange. What's the reasoning? What's the motive? Because I was nothing but nice to Tim Thompson, and I was nothing but nice to Steve McPike in Colorado, pool player Steve McPike, who weaseled into my life in Colorado and then introduced me on these strategic setup operations with Tim Thompson. Okay, and Jay from Yankee Doodles and whatever. Okay, so wait, but you're saying, Jesus Christ, Kevin, how come this random guy in Colorado is trying to kill you? How come this random girl in Southern Oregon State is trying to kill you? How come Eric Christensen and Sherry Christensen in Colorado are coming after you? How come Kelly Hatch is following you up from Calabasas, trying to kill or eradicate you? How come all these random events from random strangers are all being coordinated, and you're just sitting there like, I'm trying to live my fucking life? I don't understand. Okay, so there's not really too much to say about Heather. It's just the next girl following me from place to place, crying wolf, with their worldwide internet kill networks built in 1994, while my brother called me up at Southern Oregon or University of Colorado, wanting me to see the internet so bad and wanting to show me things on the internet in the days of simple telnet sessions, when the internet was mostly a government system trickling down to colleges. My brother, in its infant stages, my brother wanted to get me on the internet so they could build worldwide kill networks or eradication networks and amp up their city level kill networks to worldwide kill networks. And yeah, I'm going to say it like it is, kill networks. These are psychological warfare and battering operations, mental battering operations, until you're dead and gone, kill yourself, or get locked in a cage or something. They are complete eradication operations, period, no matter how they can accomplish that. Starting at 5 years old. Okay, so really what can you say about this redhead Heather? Well, my family's trying to then work weird schizo angles with my cousin Heather, and then they're trying to throw in my cousin Miriam, and my father's trying to manipulate me into making it look like I love my cousin Miriam. Just weird, freaky things. All these situations are the same. They try to manipulate me into the situation. They fail, then they try to cover it up. It just goes from person to person and thing to thing. So Heather, what can you really say about Heather? Yeah, she was good looking and she was gorgeous, but if she was an honest person, she would have said, Kevin, I saw what they did to you at Yankee Doodles and that's acceptable, not I own you and you do what I tell you or we kill you. Correct? Okay, so why? Okay, first, how much money did Heather take to follow me to Havenhurst Starbucks and say I'm somehow doing something to her? That's the first question. And who's paying her? That's the next question. Okay, so she's obviously being paid off to hunt me, correct? And if she isn't, well, she's still involved in some kind of cover-up operation. Okay, so that was first on the notes. And then Aubrey Fisher, same thing. Aubrey Fisher, remember, I have daily newspaper clippings of Rhodey Morales working with the LAPD to catch a murderer, and then Rhodey Morales is running around saying, with the LAPD, saying I've killed someone, and then they're working some weird schizo angle like Kevin thinks he killed someone. I don't know. It just goes... They just keep changing their story every 10 minutes. But remember, when they change their story, the propaganda goes worldwide instantly. And that is where things really fall apart. Because we're not talking about someone's opinion here. We're talking about information dissemination in such a way to kill or eradicate a human being. And these things started 5 years old. Okay, with my father then turning it around, going, Kevin, I don't know how you live like you do. Well, I lived just fine until I found out you're trying to fucking have me killed. Okay, so, or locked in a cage for some reason. Okay, so, I put this note here, societal physics. I mean, that sounds kind of strange, but societal physics, the things being done to me, can't normally happen. The way that the information is flowing to worldwide groups can't happen without systems being built or normality, if that makes sense. When I say normality, what I mean is there's a certain way that drama and gossip works, and there's, let me rephrase that. There's a certain way drama, gossip, and lies work, and there's a certain way drama, gossip, and lies don't work. Example, let's say you become friends with a girl and she's a drama queen, and oh, you know, Kevin's a liar, and Kevin's a troll, and Kevin's this, and she tells her friends. Okay, well, let's be honest, these types of things happen every day, right? You go to high school, you go to college, there's drama, there's gossip, there's lies. Happens every day of our lives with everyone. Okay? But if Aubrey Fisher is following me around, asking me interrogating questions because I was nice enough to put up a photography website for her on the Erotic Ranch system with some template code, and I go out of my fucking way for Aubrey Fisher, and the only thing Aubrey Fisher is concerned about is uploading pictures of her photography, asking me interrogating questions like, oh, you see this boy at the beach? He doesn't have a shirt on. Do you think that that's appropriate? Or she's asking me, or every girl that I associate with, like Mila the stripper, sorry, I'm trying to remember her name. Venice from Oxnard, Venice from Van Nuys Rhino, and Mila from Bare Elegance, Aubrey Fisher just happens to be doing photo shoots with, and then she's like, Kevin, can you upload these for me? Trying to get reactions. Okay? I'm nice enough to fucking go out of my way for this person, so why does she have this unheard of anger and rage while she's working with the LAPD to eradicate my kind, right? I'm there for you. I'm helping you. I'm fucking going out of my way for you when you fucking call me. No, but we gotta kill you with Victoria Walker, Matt Von Rocky, Michael Vialis, all these people that they don't even know each other. They're not even friends. Think about that. Jen Hess, Julia Sophia Reynoso, Heather from Yankee Doodles, Isabel from Yankee Doodles, Monica from Yankee Doodles, Jay from Yankee Doodles, Jessica from Yankee Doodles, redheads from Topanga Adventures, Starbucks, I can't remember their fucking name, it was 18 years ago. Okay, whatever. Garrett from Starbucks, Topanga and Ventura, running around saying, Kevin, it's your transgressions. I'm sorry, Garrett. Do I fucking know you? What transgressions, you fucking sick little obsessed psycho? Okay, right? But he can't answer the question like anyone else. They're just empty labels. Empty, vague labels. Kevin, you know what you did, but I won't tell you. Kevin, it's your transgressions, but I won't tell you. Kevin, you say mean things, but I won't tell you. And there is no mean thing crime. Kevin, you're an asshole. Why? I can't tell you. Okay. Everything is vague and general and not about anything. Yet I'm the nicest person known to man, and I'm being hunted with billions of government dollars. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so, where the hell was I? Oh, the social physics. Example. This has now been about 2, maybe 3 years. I get out of my car, I push my alarm horn. I'm not sure if I can't tell you exactly what happened because nobody gives a shit about this type of thing. I get out of my car, I push my alarm horn. Either I pushed it really fast or double pushed it, or I double checked. I don't fucking know. The alarm horn goes honk honk. Okay? Now some random stranger somewhere, some random stranger in some city or whatever place that I don't know, here's my car alarm horn honk twice in a row. Now for 3 years straight, almost every person worldwide, everywhere I've been worldwide, mass groups, anyone that sees me worldwide honks their alarm horn 2 or 3 times. Just like the Aubrey Fisher, I tapped my foot by her in like 2004, and everywhere I went worldwide for 6 years, people would tap by me, and in the last couple of days I've had tappers show up, and one threatening me in an indirect way, basically telling me I had better not ever take a picture with my camera. Linked back to Aubrey Fisher's murder operations and the Heather murder operations. Okay? I'm sorry if that sounds a little dramatic, but if worldwide groups are honking their horn for the last 3 years 2 or 3 times when they see you, or for 6 years people tapping when they see you, almost every, let's say 5 out of 10 random strangers worldwide for 6 years, or let's even say 2 out of 10. Those are murder operations. Okay? That's not gossip and drama and, oh, Kevin's an asshole because he honked his horn. He pushed his alarm horn button more than once and it made a double honk noise. Nobody's going to care unless they're watching everything you do, putting their accusations in their Brian Longbotham laundry list to kill you / clean you up. Okay? What did I call it? Social physics or social dynamics. If you want to study sociology or whatever, none of this applies. This would be the Hannibal Lecter version of sociology. Okay? These are kill operations. They apply to nothing but killing someone or eradicating them without physically touching them. So what did I call it? Social physics or social dynamics. Example, you get out of your car, you don't arm the alarm perfectly, or you tap your foot by a girl that doesn't like it, or you say hey to a girl and she doesn't like it, or she feels offended. Instantly, within 24 hours, the entire planet walks around saying hey to you for the next 10 years, or every single person you see for 6 years starts tapping by you. That's not how interpersonal communications normally work, can't work, unless technology is being used to hurt, harm, maim, kill, eradicate someone. And it is starting in 1994 when my brother wanted me to see the internet so bad at University of Colorado, Boulder. Now, before the internet, these murder operations were on a smaller scale. Example, Kevin's going off to Southern Oregon State College. The family is losing control. We're paying off Kelly Hatch with the police to follow me, Kevin, to Southern Oregon State and stalk me. But they're prepared to cover it all up because they're working with the police and the police resources. So what Kelly Hatch and the police are told to do is say, everyone watch out for Kevin Perlman because he's a violent paranoid schizo. Then I moved to Colorado. Everyone in Boulder is notified. Everyone watch out for Kevin Perlman and do these things because he's a violent paranoid schizo. Okay? That's how things start, city level. Now, after this, the internet comes around in 94. Oh, this is great. We have worldwide kill tools. We're going to build every resource around Kevin Perlman, and we're going to notify everyone worldwide to help us kill Kevin Perlman or eradicate his kind. With my family running around going, I just want you to have a good life in a mental institution. I'm sorry. My life, you're that upset that I was out starting businesses and out social and doing things that ruined your life somehow? Okay, so when my father blasts his fucking bullshit, Kevin, I don't know how you live like you do, there's a whole translation. I'm going to try to make you look crazy and torture you mentally to make killing or eradicating your kind look justified. Okay? My point is that my father is intolerant of different races and cultures, of anything that's different than him. He's a racist, bigoted murderer. That's the point I'm getting at. Okay, so me kissing a black girl when I was at Sunny Skies Day Camp at 8 years old, why do you think they're really telling the world I'm a white supremacist for kissing a black girl? Gee, I wonder. Because he doesn't approve of it, or they don't approve of it. They want me with a nice Jewish girl, and if you don't do that, we're going to Elsie Sandoval you to death and kill you. Okay, so, and obviously Elsie Sandoval was paid off, and you can debate whether the Golden State Sports Medical job payment was really to kill me or not, right? Okay, let's see. So that's the social dynamics, or the social physics. What's being done in my life doesn't happen normally without technology being used. And if technology is being used, then it's built for a reason, which is highly illegal, no matter what the reason is. And it's built to hurt, harm, maim, kill, eradicate, you name it. Now we're going up to NSA level kill operations or something in the government with the psychology community of killing people they don't like, or that they flag at childhood and kill or eradicate. Example, we don't trust you, we're going to label you a your kind, and we're going to eradicate you. And nobody knows the difference because the government's running around going, that person's crazy, you see, and we're going to lock them away, we're going to incarcerate them for life. And everyone just goes, oh, that person's crazy, and they got rid of them. They don't know the difference. Now remember, once again, it's not a crime to be crazy, and people's opinions based on who people are differentiate from person to person anyways. So how many times have you talked to someone and said, oh, that person's crazy? Okay, so you don't trust or know or like, or you think that girl's crazy because she likes to screw a lot. You think that girl's crazy because she's an exhibitionist. You think that girl's crazy because she's like Paris Hilton. She's born from a rich family, but she's doing sex videos. Okay, wait, but those aren't crimes. Those aren't justifications to rid someone of the world. Okay, so the point is that when the police are running around, that person's crazy, we got to kill him and watch him and do all these things. It's not justified. It's not within the Constitution of the United States. As a matter of fact, it goes against everything the Constitution of the United States stands for. That's the reason we have the Constitution of the United States. If you take the Constitution of the United States out of the equation, you're all fucking dead men. Period. You're giving the power to a crazy tyrant. There's a reason we have three branches of government. The legislative, the executive, and the judicial branch. There's a reason why we have Congress and Senate. So no power-hungry president can do whatever the fuck he wants. There's a reason we have checks and balances in the government, except the problem we're having is the loopholes like FISA, Patriot Act, and probably a good 10 other ones that we don't even know about. Okay? There's a reason we have these things. Now, if everyone's running around fat and happy and stuffing their face going, I got a good life, who cares? Well, let me tell you, you could be fucking next. So, I'm just going to say that. So, societal physics, you can see how everything that's happening to me is based on manipulation and systems being built around me to have me killed. Okay, or killed, hunted, or eradicated. What? We don't want Kevin Perlman in society because we don't like or trust him. That's it. Okay, playing pool and joining wrestling team is somehow a crime. I mean, yeah, I know, right? More crimes of mine. If I go out and I play pool, well, Kevin thinks life's a game. If I join the wrestling team, Kevin thinks life's a wrestle. I mean, do you understand that? How does someone go out, and if they simply are in high school and pick a sport, and they're hunted and killed for it? Do you understand the ramifications here of what's being done to my life? Most people would say, I'm going to join the wrestling team, I'm going to join the football team, I'm going to join the swimming team, I'm going to join the diving team, I'm not in danger. And that's what I said. I'm just going to go out and do things in high school that normal people do. I joined the wrestling team, and how was I to know that my life was actually in danger for joining the wrestling team? Okay, now we can also apply that to playing pool, and we can apply it to many other things. But the point I'm making is, you don't walk around analyzing these things because they don't matter, because nobody cares normally, right? And so I'm out living my life, and worldwide groups are getting angrier and angrier. Well, that Kevin guy, he joined the wrestling team, how dare him? And then they had the thing, I explained it in some of the other video blogs, how they had the black girl join the men's wrestling team, and the coach wanted me to wrestle with the black girl, then she quits, then they run around saying I did something to a black girl, and I hate black people. Working with Damon Riggins, the football player, you think that's a little fucking strange? Not just Damon Riggins, the coach was involved. Either Jono or Brock Delp, I don't remember which one. Okay, so no, in Kevin's life, if he tries to go out and do something that's perfectly normal, I'm hunted for it, and some of the bullshit that my family's preaching to the world with the psychology community, well, Kevin conforms to media, and Kevin can't separate winning and losing and wrestling matches and playing pool from real life. Okay, I see there's some kind of secret psychological bullshit argument on their murder systems to the world, also known as propaganda. But what's the specific argument? Like everything else, I think life's a game, right? Why? Based on what? Their only argument is Kevin plays a lot of pool. Okay, so Kevin plays a lot of pool. My daddy goes out in his boat every fucking weekend. Does my daddy think he's some character in a movie because he goes out on his boat every weekend? Is anyone questioning my daddy for going out on his boat every weekend? Is anyone questioning my mother playing solitaire every weekend with her friends? Right? Because if this argument applies to me, then it's got to apply to everyone else, right? If my mother plays solitaire with her friends every week for years, that means that my mom wants to be alone, right? And the world needs to know this because she's crazy. Isn't that the same argument? The same moronic, nonsensical, imbecile argument? If you play solitaire every week and then you want to be alone. Okay, well, that's the types of things that are being thrown on me, but once again, based on what I call societal physics. How is the world told that because Kevin plays a lot of pool that he can't separate pool from reality or games from reality? Therefore, Kevin needs to be locked in a mental institution. And how is it that Kevin wrestled? By the way, I only wrestled for 3 out of 4 years in high school, and I completely fucking sucked. Okay? I was the crappiest, shittiest wrestler out there. My coach, for some reason, made me captain of the wrestling team for like a day, and I lost the match. And he's like, okay, you know what, Kevin, I'm going to give that to so-and-so. And I said, okay, that's fine, whatever. Because I knew personally that my fucking wrestling sucked so bad that I shouldn't have been wrestling captain anyways. Okay? So why did he make me wrestling captain for like a week anyways? Well, I can tell you even though it makes no sense. I think 11th grade I didn't wrestle, and I was lifting weights in my house, getting big and buff, which my family was so mad about. I mean, how dare I work out and be healthy? So I was lifting weights, and I went from a string bean, like a 105-pound string bean, to like a year later I was like all big and buff. And so then my coach saw me in 12th grade, and he said, Kevin, I want to make you wrestling captain. But why? Because wrestling has nothing to do if you have big old man pecs or biceps. Wrestling has to do with your ability to wrestle. So why was he making me captain for a week and then giving it to, I think it might have been Resnick or something. Now Resnick, I couldn't give a fuck if you're captain or I'm captain or Paul McCartney is fucking captain. I couldn't give a flying fuck. And the truth was that Resnick was way better than me at wrestling. If it was given to Resnick, I can't even remember his first name. Todd Resnick, maybe? I couldn't give a fuck then or now if I was a good or bad wrestler or if I was captain. And the truth was that I was like a really fucking shitty wrestler, okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell you like I'm Captain Amazing or anything like that. I just did what people did in high school, which is choose a sport. But in my life, like I started in on this excerpt, it's not safe. And when I say this, the fucking psychology community better not try to use this against me. In my life, joining a wrestling team is not safe for me because my family's running around with this bullshit, spewing it to the world that doesn't make any fucking rational or sane sense, and it's being disseminated worldwide with the psychology community and billions of government dollars to try to make me look crazy and like I conform to things, right? Okay, so it has nothing to do with my thought process or my psychological stability. It has to do with the people that hate me and the things they're doing to my life. So once again, I just joined a fucking wrestling team. Once again, I love playing pool. Once again, I like going to coffee shops, being social, getting work done, being outdoors, seeing the trees, seeing the wind, seeing rainy days, seeing sunny days, seeing foggy days. I like taking pictures, I like creating cool art, I like drawing, I like painting, I like sculpting, I like 3D animation and visual effects, whatever. What kind of sicko analyzes something like that, turns it into, twists and contorts it into complete fiction, turns an entire plan against you to try to kill you or lock you away? Okay? It has nothing to do with me, other than I'm the target, I'm the victim, I'm the hunted. Okay. My psychological profile is more sound than most people's. I can assure you of that. Okay, so that was the playing pool and wrestling. Now remember, this applies to every aspect of my life. They're going to rip and shred every aspect of my life since 5 years old and try to make me look crazy, to make removing me from society look justified. And remember, they start in on me at an early age to try to make it look like I conform to media. Okay? Especially with the movie Wizards in 1977. Okay, Mike Huntley, World of Warcraft Kill Ops with Elsie Sandoval. Okay, so lately some of the Elsie Sandoval things have been arising. Elsie Sandoval, I think, knows some people in the police. Elsie Sandoval was paid off by my father to hunt me. Just one of many. My father was paying off Lorena Escobar starting at 16. And his entire office of 28 employees were told to work on me after he reeled me in to work in his office after he had Mike Huntley reel me in to start Signet, where they wanted me in the same building and all that shit, where Patty Guggen with my father was jacking in to the hub, and they were putting spyware and doing all these freaky things to my computer, and Mike Huntley kept telling me weird things about people trying to kill people, and his friend Brian being arrested for researching how to kill people on the internet, all sorts of weird freaky things to try to make it look like I'm a murderer and things like this, just because he has an agenda with the government and my family since 5 years old to eradicate me. And they will say and do whatever it takes to eradicate my kind. Period. This is not about anything I've done. It is not even about me. It is about someone, starting with my own family, wanting me dead, gone, eradicated because of their insecurities. They don't like me, kind of like Adolf Hitler didn't like Jews. It's the same exact dynamic, built on hate. It is the largest hate crime against one man with a worldwide organization for now 42 years. There is no crime bigger than this. In the end, this is just a hate crime being done to Kevin Perlman with worldwide support since 5 years old. That is all it is. You can try to polish a fucking turd as many ways as you want. There is no justification. There is no argument for any of this. You can't run around saying vague things like you know what you did and you're a dead man with worldwide support. We have a constitution to protect you. We have news organizations to protect you from things like this. Somehow, they've managed to pull this off for 42 years, making killing me look justified. Okay. Or however you want to word it. Killing me, incarcerating me for life, it's all the same thing. You take some person, you take away his freedoms, you lock him in a small cell. It's the same thing as killing someone, because the only difference is, let me put it this way. If you're in a coffin, you're not breathing. If you're in a cage breathing, what the fuck's the difference? To tell you the truth, I'd rather be in the fucking coffin than a small cage breathing. Okay? So now you can say, well, they're keeping the guy alive while trying to torture and kill him. So actually, it's a lot worse than dying. Okay, so the point, and now I'm not making any suicidal comments, or I'm not saying I'm a danger to myself or others, because I know that people in the judicial system and psychology community will try to take that statement and twist it and contort it and get what they've wanted since 5 years old. Make me look like the bad guy. Okay, for saying how it is. For saying it for how it is. Okay. So where are we here? My notes. Oh, the Mike Huntley, World of Warcraft. So, okay, so first of all, this isn't the biggest thing in the world, but this kind of talks about the dynamics. Okay, so we have Signet e-services. My family manipulates me. Remember, all these things are based on manipulation and cover-ups. My father has his office on Ventura Boulevard, and we're just getting started with Signet. We have our servers for a couple of years at Mike Huntley's mother's house. Little do I know, he's working on all sorts of weird, freaky clerks angles and all sorts of freaky things. I'm guessing his family having cages of pit bulls in the garage. When we put the servers, we built the server room in his mother's house at Lost Hills. He wanted to have the servers in his mother's house. We bought a T1 internet line back in those days. And I can recall tons of pit bulls they had in small cages in his mother's garage. And my guess is he might have been hinting about dogs in cages, like my family locking Maggie in cages and my father wanting to lock me in a cage. Right? Okay, so, and to be fair, Maggie's cage wasn't that small, but still, you understand the dynamics. Now, his family was raising pit bulls to sell, but that still doesn't justify having lots of little small cages, I think. Dogs should be running around being healthy. Okay, so, or any animal for that matter. Okay, so where are we? So this on the surface, this isn't really the biggest of deals, but you can understand the dynamics between the things that Mike Huntley was doing to me in the office with Bob Sandler. So at one point, Mike Huntley says, well, we've networked all the computers and we're going to play World of Warcraft in the office. And I'm not being like Mr. Army guy or anything. I'm not like being Mr. You know, but I'm being honest and direct. Now, look, Mike, we're here to make money, and we really should not be playing World of Warcraft, or you should not be playing World of Warcraft in the office. We got to get shit done. We got to fucking make money. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you that, you know, the truth be told, Signet was a fucking joke. We probably brought in like 20,000, 30,000 a month tops, okay? Any person that has run a company will probably laugh their ass off going, I mean, you're making fucking penny. That's gross, by the way. That's not even net. So my take home was complete shit. Okay, but it teaches you things about going out and what it takes to do it on. Okay, let me start. If you're one of those, and I'm not judging you, but if you're one of those 9-to-5ers and you go out and you get a job for a company and you work, you get to the work at 9 and you leave at 5 and you do everything you're told and you make a steady living and you have a family, and that's fucking great. That's totally great for you. But that is a different mindset than having that obsessive, I'm going to start my own company, I'm going to make it happen, and I got a new and original idea, and I have to work until it happens, because then I have to fold up shop and figure out how to fucking eat. Okay? Are two different mindsets, because the responsibility on running your own company means that you have to fucking make it happen, whether you work 1 hour a day or fucking 24 hours a day. You have to make it happen. You're not relying on someone else with money. You have to make it happen with your own fucking money, and you have to have that obsessed personality. I'm going to climb fucking Mount Everest, and I'm going to get to the fucking top no matter what, or you're going to fucking lose. Or not lose, but you're going to fold up shop. You're not going to make any money. Okay? You have to be fucking realistic. Okay? Now, if you're a 9-to-5er, you don't have that stress. You don't have the how am I going to make money. You're given the fucking money, provided that you perform adequately to the standards which they hired you for. If you're running your own company, you have to make it happen on every fucking level. It's up to you. There's no one above you saving your ass. Okay? The mindset is different. So, we're in an office. Mike Huntley wants to dick around playing World of Warcraft. I'm not fucking shoving a cattle prod up the guy's ass or anything. But I'm saying, look, Mike, you know, we got to focus on business. And, you know, we shouldn't be fucking around and playing games in the office. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm not saying that Mike Huntley has to be hunted and killed for the World of Warcraft crime like they do to me. What I'm saying, the point I'm getting at is little did I know at the time, Mike had ulterior motives to try to send me ideas of references or schizo messages about playing games with people's lives and turning mass groups of people against me to have me killed. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Mike Huntley was sending me threat messages or whatever about mass groups being controlled to brutally mob someone to death. World of Warcraft. Now, I didn't know that at the time. But maybe 5 years later, 6 years later, I don't know how the conversation topic came up in my father's office with Elsie Sandoval, but I stated it how it was, that Mike Huntley was playing World of Warcraft in our office to threaten me or something like that with mental illness tactics. On the mental illness tactics that my father, with Elsie Sandoval and Lorena Escobar and his 28 other employees, were told from the very first moment of walking in. Let me rephrase that. From the very first moment that my father told Lorena Escobar to walk up to me, ask me if I wanted to do the IT in their company, they were paying off 28 employees to try to mob and batter me to death and end my existence from the very first minute of walking in that office, which is done to me worldwide at every place I go. And when the topic with Elsie Sandoval, who, by the way, I believe also has claimed that I hit her and things like that, working the same tactics as everyone else, the cry wolf tactics, when I get smart enough and address issues. Okay, so for example, she flipped out on the defensive when I was talking about Mike Huntley's threat messages with the game World of Warcraft and the things that he was doing, and normally someone would be like, that's fucking unacceptable. They wouldn't come after the victim. They wouldn't come after the target. Okay, so Elsie Sandoval, who has been paid off with Lorena Escobar and many others to hunt me down and have me killed, eradicated, locked away at Golden State Sports Medical under my father's orders, who reeled me in to get me back to his office, working with each and every employee, and the police, and my father paying off Sean Dinsey, and many other people, and lawyers. When she realized that I was on to what Mike Huntley was told to do to hunt me down and have me killed or eradicated, got very defensive and started working on the same, or amping up more aggressively, the same things that Mike Huntley and everyone else were told to do. Okay? So you now have to question why Elsie Sandoval is sort of running around, threatening me, and doing all these things with people in the LAPD to have me killed for simply stating, look what Mike Huntley's doing. Okay, that tells you everything you need to know, and it tells you she links back up to my father, Ronald Barry Perlman, because the shit always flows downhill, and you have to trace the resources up to the hierarchy, up to the top of who's giving the orders. Alright? Example. Do you honestly believe that Lorena Escobar hunting me down since 16 to have me eradicated, working in my father's office, is some kind of personal vendetta from Lorena Escobar, which I never even really knew as a young child? Or do you think that she's being given orders from the guy that pays her money to eat food? Correct? Let's be honest about the situation. Okay? It's not personal for Lorena. She's being paid. Her job description in secret is hunt down and rid Kevin Perlman of the world. That's Lorena Escobar's job description. Do whatever it takes, pay off whatever women to follow Kevin Perlman around and lock him away or rid him of the world, because Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman doesn't want a Paris Hilton child, right? You understand? He doesn't want a child that plays pool, that builds adult websites, that goes to coffee shops, because Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman wants to be a respectable orthopedic surgeon with a secondary Hannibal Lecter psychology degree. Do you understand? That's what this is about. Control, but not your normal control, because there's no such thing as control, but paying off people to sabotage, destroy, have me killed, or rid of the world so that he can look like a good person. That's how these things start. But yet it gets weirder because it starts at 5 years old. That's the world of Warcraft. That's where Elsie Sandoval flips out on the defense mechanism that I have to really amp up and help have Kevin killed or locked away because he knows too much. Okay? But yet at no point does Elsie Sandoval say, fuck, this Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman guy's a fucking murderer. I gotta get away from him. Okay, so, there's a term for that. It's called aiding and abetting murder. Okay, let's see. And if you don't think she and all these other people know what they're doing, they clearly know and are aware exactly what they're doing. Because it's all premeditated and executed. Okay, so... where are we? Checking my notes. What's being done to my life is designed to ratchet down. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm just keeping my eyes on the road. Okay, what's being done to my life is designed to ratchet down, get worse and worse, even on medication. The point is that I don't need medication. The point is that what's going on is not about mental illness. The point is that what's going on is about torturing and killing or eradicating. There is no medication. If someone's bashing your skull in with a shovel, what medication you take? Can you tell me? If someone's spitting blow darts at you, what medication you take? If someone's following you from place to place, screaming at the top of their lungs, you do what I say or we kill you every 10 minutes. What medication do you take? Right? There is no medication. It's a fallacy. This isn't the movie The Matrix. There is no red pill. There is no green pill. This is life. This is how life works. Okay? People aren't allowed to hunt people down and eradicate them. Period. Ever. There is no medication. So my point is, these operations are designed to just keep getting worse and worse, no matter what. Example, you meet a girl, Kevin raped me. You meet a girl, Kevin's a pedophile. You meet a girl, Kevin's stalking me. You meet a girl, Kevin is forcing himself on me. You meet a girl, Kevin's following me from place to place. Each one of these things goes out worldwide. Then you start telling people, or then you start asking questions. What's going on? You're crazy, nothing's going on. Now you're crazy. Then you get to the point where you get past all that, so you prove it. You prove it. Oh, you're crazy because you took too many pictures. Oh, I'm not going to look at the proof. Okay, now I have video. I have video of all these attacks, threats, and group mental illness attacks. Oh, I don't want to look at the, okay, LAPD. I don't want to look at the proof of the crimes against you because you're crazy. Well, what do you mean I'm crazy? It's on video. I don't believe you. I got a guy that just followed me down, threatening my life on video and pushing me. No, you're crazy. I don't want to see it. You have to see a shrink. Why do I have to see a shrink? It's on video. Okay, now you go to the shrinks. And the shrinks, they're all fucking mad at you because you know too much. Because their lies, because you know about their lies from 5 years old, that supposedly you're a violent paranoid schizo. So they don't want you standing up to them. They don't want you saying that's bullshit. So then they start thugging you. So now you have the judicial system and the psychology community all working together, saying, it's kind of like the movie 1984. You have to admit to something that isn't true or we torture you and kill you. Right? Big Brother's watching you. Whatever. The tactics are designed, because it's worldwide, a worldwide conspiracy, the tactics are designed to hurt, harm, maim, torture, kill, and just keep ratcheting down with larger and larger groups with endless power until you're dead and gone and you have no recourse. That's how they're designed. These kill systems, these psychological, whatever, I can't tell you the specifics. I'm not Edward Snowden. I've never worked in the government. I can tell you that I'm proof. I'm living proof of what Edward Snowden came forward about. And I can also tell you that what Edward Snowden has built, he probably doesn't know the aspect of what's going on with the psychology community and the psychological warfare and kill operations. But I am living proof of these things for under the name of control or whatever. You're 5 years old. You fit this profile. We have a program, a secret program for this with the psychology community, and really bad things happen to good people because someone threw a label on them, an empty label, in the government. Okay, so these systems are built to just keep ratcheting down tighter and tighter until you're dead and gone and you look like the bad guy. Period. You can be the best person in the world. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is just a quick side note about. Okay, I have on my website. I have the appeals. I've read the appeals transcripts. They're fucking disgusting. They're fucking. Seymour Amster completely fucking lies about everything. He puts shit in there that isn't in the court. Shit, he's just going rogue, just writing shit up he wants. He leaves out the two most important charges. He never even disputes the fabricated 422 criminal threats or the fabricated battery charges that are reversed on me, where Bailey Bernard follows me home and attacks me and tries to silence me. He doesn't even argue that in the appeals. Then he starts putting all this shit in Kevin did this, Kevin did that, which is he's just writing what he wants. It's not even in the court arguments. And then he starts putting things, well, Kevin needs therapy to cope with the situation. You're the fucking defense attorney. Now, I could also spend 100 hours talking about the trial and him refusing to put anything in to show that I'm innocent. I'm being hunted in self-defense. I pass out cards. These people are hunting me. I have it all on video. I have it all photoed. Well, we don't like the fact that you have proof of it. You committed a crime by having proof of people hunting you to kill you. Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay? So, clearly he's being paid off to have me killed or eradicated and help. Okay. So, remember there's the whole other thing with Debbie Woolman purchasing the property adjoining my townhouse wall, never living in it. Debbie Woolman is a court reporter in room 101, Van Nuys Courthouse, and they're also, I believe, doing audio surveillance equipment in that apartment. She's never lived in it. Nobody's ever lived in it. I showed proof to Richard Barnwell, lawyer Richard Barnwell, who got mad that I had proof of what they're doing. So he made it look like I didn't show up to court, even though I did show up to court with him, and tried to make it look like I was on the run. So you could fucking ask Richard Barnwell about that one. And his phone call conversations yelling at me and his hate and rage after taking my fucking money, just like Seymour. Okay, so, I mean, you listen, if you're a lawyer, if you're a bigoted, racist, reverse racist lawyer or something, then don't take my fucking money and say you're going to help me. But the fact that he wants me dead and he takes my money, same with Seymour Amster, you get the idea. Okay. What was my topic? Oh. Okay, so just note, Debbie Woolman, court reporter, linked to Jen Pilchick, my brother's wife's father, Jay Pilchick, in Florida, court reporter. All these events are all linked. Trying to figure out ways to make me look crazy and trying to get me to talk to myself in my house, which they couldn't, with audio surveillance. And then them diverting Kid Taco into talking when it's really about me building shitty cars for my friends. My friends calling me Kid Taco because they didn't like my 69 Firebird. You get the idea. So, the appeals document, any fucking 10-year-old with common sense can read those appeals and go, this is fucking absurd. This is fucking appalling. Any fucking 10-year-old. Okay? Now, my mother and my stepfather all claim they read it and it looked really good. Okay. I mean, gee, what great parents, right? Okay, so, oh, and Deborah, psychologist or whatever, psychiatrist or whatever, Deborah Bear somehow got a hold of it and she read it and said it sounded good. First of all, I don't even know how she got it because I'm not getting that. Seymour just gave it to her for some reason. Seymour was behind my back contacting therapists. Okay, unethically. Gee, where have we seen this before? Like Susan Donner, right? Or Natalie Craw, right? It's those psychiatrists. Okay, with their illegal operations. Okay, so, I haven't had a chance because so much is going on to read through the court transcripts, but I can tell you that if the court reporters haven't fabricated shit or changed shit, because remember, those are just Word documents, they can go back later and change shit. I've only read a few lines. I haven't had time to go through everything, but I want to go through and I want to annotate everything for what really happened and what shows the inconsistencies. Like Terrence Scroggins flat out admits that he was contacted by Dincy to go after me. Okay, well there you have it. And Terrence Scroggins on the stand flat out states that if he doesn't like someone, he has the right to go after them. On the fucking stand. Yet I was still convicted by this jury-tampered jury, who all claim that they don't know me. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. You get the idea. And then some random people run around saying, well, you say mean things. Okay, well, that doesn't fucking make sense either. Okay? People don't run around with worldwide support saying you committed the mean thing crime. Okay, said the mean thing crime. You committed the you said a mean thing crime. It's not heard of. There's no such thing. Okay, so, where the fuck am I? Oh, so, even though I've only read a couple of paragraphs, I noticed one inconsistency. Okay, on the stand, I state The prosecution asked me if I've ever been to therapy. I said I've been to about 24 or 30 therapists. I can't tell you the exact sentencing, but I say I've been to 24 or 30 therapists. Well, skimming through the court reporters' transcripts, it says I said that I went to 6 therapists. Okay? Now, I don't know how that number changed from 24 or 30 or something like that to 6, but I can... Okay, I'm not sure if I ran out of SD card or what, so I'm just going to continue and see if this camera pukes again. Maybe the sensor got hot. I'm not sure. It's been like an hour. So what I was saying is, we're still recording, so that's good. What I was saying is that those little typey hands there, they don't seem to be pushing the right buttons all the time. So maybe there's an audio recording version of the transcripts, but probably not. I know they do that in some courts, which makes more sense. Like I said, I haven't really had the chance to go through and annotate the transcripts, but if the majority of those transcripts haven't been changed, then I assure you that when you read those transcripts, you'll be appalled, going, what the fuck's going on? Especially with Seymour trying to make me look crazy with the opening and closing arguments, or the 2 closing arguments. The prosecution was allowed to have 2 closing arguments sandwiched around the defense's arguments. Seymour wouldn't, no matter what I did, Seymour wouldn't bring in any evidence showing that Dincy has some kind of personal vendetta, probably linking back to people from my high school that he knows. Who knows? They want me dead for what I know. So I have a feeling most of the you can only change so much in that transcript, but you never know. So if you read those transcripts, you'll be like, this isn't fucking right, okay? First, the reasonable doubt. Is there a reasonable doubt that something's being done to Kevin Perlman? Yeah, well, if you have a transcript dialogue stating that Sean Dincy contacted Terrence Scroggins to go after me, that's beyond any level of reasonable doubt. And remember, all the things I had were left out. My lawyer wouldn't let me bring it in. Example, like the ticket. Sean Dincy gave me a parking ticket for 1.5 inches in the red 2 weeks before I took the stand. You don't think that could be brought in going, Dincy, is this from you? Why are you still following Kevin around? Right? Okay. After you got what you wanted. Okay, so I just wanted to note that something's not going on, and it looks like the court reporters might have been paid off to change things in the transcripts. That's all. Once again, I haven't had a chance to annotate and go through the transcripts because I'm consumed with worldwide attacks and them trying to lock me in jail for what I know and lock me away in a deep dark hole so Kevin Perlman can never tell the world what is and has been going on and done to him since 5 years old. Right? How dare I? I'm a horrible monster. Okay, for not wanting to be hunted, tortured, and killed, and people trying to make me look crazy to cover it up. Okay, so that was just a quick note on that. My camera's still recording. I don't know why it stopped. Okay, so I have in here, this is a very complex topic, and I don't think I've taken the time to talk about it, because it's just, there's so many things, starting at 5 years old, and all these things are the same, whether it's with Terrence Scroggins, or it's with people starting at 5 years old, or 10 years old, or 16 years old. All these situations are identical, you just jump from the next situation. And usually what they're trying to do is divert. They're trying to divert into the next situation. Example, my father is paying off all his office employees to hunt me, and so you start talking about that, then they send Terrence Scroggins in after you. So then you start getting diverted, and you talk about that one, and then you're not talking about the Golden State Sports medical mobbings, and then because you're not talking about the Golden State Sports medical mobbings, you're not talking about the Mike Huntley mobbings, and then you're not talking about the Mike Huntley mobbings, or the IRC mobbings, because you're busy talking about the Mike Huntley mobbings. And you're not talking about the Brian Weaver mobbings in high school or middle school because you're talking about the Kelly Hatch sent after you mobbings, right? I mean, you see it just keeps going to the next thing because they don't want me talking. They want to keep trying to divert me into the next set of situations until they get what they want, which is me dead, gone, silenced, or in a cage. Okay, so Terrence Scroggins, just a quick note, I'm not getting complex. 2013 arrests, not directly with Terrence Scroggins, but he was involved. I was arrested for sitting on the sidewalk with Jensen and his lackey, Sean Dinsey. And Sean Dinsey then became lead officer, showing that he's trying to cover up me calling internal affairs on Jensen back in 2013. And Jensen, working with my brother's restaurant in DeSoto by Peralta Street, in cover-up operations, having my brother's barbecue mob me to death with all other restaurants, and then Jensen arresting me for sitting on the sidewalk, and then trying to throw things in there, all these different counts, saying, well, Kevin battered someone because he threw a card at them. Well, first of all, I never threw a card at a person, but let's say I did. Let's say I threw a piece of paper at a person. Is that battery? Of course not. That's like saying I tried to kill you with a feather. I kept hitting you on the head with a feather, and I tried to kill you. You would fucking laugh, the police would laugh, the judge would laugh, the jury would laugh, and they would look at the cop like, what the fuck is up with this cop? Is he a fucking retard? Okay, so my point. Do you or do you not think there's a reason why the 2013 records have all been destroyed through Van Nuys Courthouse? And I tried to get all the case files. That case is way closed. But they destroyed all the records and paperwork. Why do you think that is? Because all the investigative work shows Kevin farted wrong. We arrested him. We're charging him with farting wrong. Kevin burped wrong. We're charging him with burping wrong. Okay. So they destroyed all the paperwork, so I can't get copies of it. Think about that. Now, what do you think the 2016 arrests are about? Now they're putting in fabricated battery charges with Bailey Bernard, who assault and battered me. Dinsey is trying to cover his ass, so he's paying off Terrence Scroggins with the HOA. But the plot thickens because he's linked to Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman and all sorts of things before both of these arrests. Think about that. And it just goes deeper and deeper once you go down the rabbit hole. All the way to 5 years old. Okay, so what was my notes here? Okay. 2013. I say, I just want to go to a therapist and I want to tell them about my life. Now, remember, at first my mother wants me to go get therapy at 29, but all the therapists are paid off to try to make me look crazy. Especially Susan Donner, Natalie Craw, who threatened me, I better take medication or I'll destroy my life, meaning that she's going to destroy my life if I don't do what I'm told. Alex Lazar in Encino, when he found out I knew that Mike Huntley was accusing me of being filled with anger and rage, his eyes dropped to the ground in guilt, and then he went fucking ballistic on me, trying to discredit me in photography and studio photography, which is not his fucking job. A psychiatrist's job is not to hunt someone down for getting into studio photography, saying, I think you're unethical. Okay? In other words, Dr. Alex Lazar is involved in a mass crime, and he doesn't want the truth coming out. Okay, so that was earlier. Back in 2013, I'm thinking, now I'm smart enough, now I understand what's going on, I want to talk to a therapist about my life. Well, the psychology community gets really angry. Kevin, you're not allowed to go to psychologists and talk about your life. That's not healthy for you. You should be out living your life. Well, wait. Why do you exist again? Why did you choose psychology? To tell people not to talk? Okay, so, interesting, right? Okay, so, after taking a break from going to all these quacks trying to eradicate me, and then understanding several years later what's going on, the first psychologist I talked to is Karine Echigian. And Karine Echigian, like the rest, oh, I see what you're talking about, and then later on changes her story into, oh, you're crazy, and I see what you're talking about, but I don't see it. Right? I mean, these half-truth bullshit. She sees all this video, she admits to it, and then it's this, oh, well, I see what you say you're seeing. Okay, now the whole time she's working with the LAPD, trying to silence me, she's collecting and spewing out all my conversations, and a lot of my conversations are going to Lorena Escobar, my father's office manager, who's trying to silence me. That's interesting, because why would Lorena be on the defensive? And at the point that I try to get joint therapy with my father doesn't like it and thinks it's a crime, like I'm doing something to him by trying to get to the fucking bottom of the situation. Okay? Now, what do? Karine Echigian contacts Terrence Scroggins. And she tells Terrence Scroggins, this is back in 2013, she tells Terrence Scroggins to run up to me shouting that I glued his mailbox shut. And I tell him, bullshit. And I tell him, I ask him. I say, Terrence, was it with crazy glue? He says, yes, it was. And I say, well, Terrence, how the fuck do you know if it's with crazy glue? Right? Okay, my point. Do you understand my point? Terrence Scroggins is a fucking lying piece of shit on anger management, and he's paid off by the LAP to hunt down and kill people, to silence them, and they're working all these freaky angles about post-traumatic stress syndrome and this and that and whatever. Just every angle with the psychology community. Okay. So we have a little dialogue. Terrence Scroggins doesn't get his coerced false confessions. There's about 10 other interactions over the several years of Terrence Scroggins running up to me, trying to set me up. And there's an admission of Terrence Scroggins on the stand stating that he was contacted by Dincy beforehand, before he kept running up to me, threatening me, while Dincy fabricated and wrote falsified police reports, turning things around on me. Okay. The point I'm making is that these Dincy arrests were made in 2016, but they're trying to hide everything that they did in 2013 arrests. Okay? They're trying to hide the 2013 arrests. They've destroyed all files. Destroyed. Think about that. The judicial system doesn't usually destroy case numbers unless they have something to hide or there's a serious reason. The judicial system has destroyed. Now, the 2013 arrests had nothing to do with Terrence Scroggins. But he was involved. He was contacted directly behind my back with therapist Karine Echigian. Told him to run up to me yelling that I glued his mailbox shut. He was also on the HOA, the Homeowners Association board. Think about that one. And, what else? He was on the HOA board. And, this is the most important part. Remember, I'm talking about Susan Donner and her asking me questions about harassing. she's asking me questions about harassing Yankee Doodles or waitresses. Right? Now, all the waitresses and Yankee Doodles employees or everyone else are told to endlessly provoke me. And then the psychiatrist is asking me questions if I provoke them to try to get coerced false confessions. So, example, if I'm attacked by 100,000 waitresses, the psychiatrist, Susan Donner, will ask me if I've harassed a waitress. Think about that. But nowhere is the psychiatrist concerned with mass worldwide mobbings to kill someone. Okay, same thing with Terrence Scroggins. Karine Echigian, I go into my next session with Karine Echigian. I go into my next session and she is spewing things out about my and Terrence Scroggins' conversations, trying to get confessions from me that I've done something to Terrence Scroggins, showing beyond any level of illegal operations. Okay? Once again, raise your hand if you have ever been in a situation or know of a situation where people are following you around, accusing you of crimes, and the next day, the psychologist or psychiatrist has the conversations. Has that ever happened to you or anyone you know? Oh, wait, what's that? Never? Never? As a matter of fact, it violates all confidentiality agreements. It's a crime. It is a crime for a psychiatrist, therapist to disseminate that private information. It is a crime for psychologists to pay off people to try to thug you and then have those conversations. They're crimes by the psychology community. Okay, Terrence Scroggins not only was contacted beforehand by, which he admits on stand, by Officer Dincy, he was also contacted beforehand by therapist Karine Echigian. How do you explain that? Terrence Scroggins also says on the stand, he has anger management and he can go after anyone he wants if he feels that they don't belong in society. Okay, well, once again, Terrence Scroggins is just another number in this operation that just keeps repeating itself since 5 years old from almost every person I've ever been in contact with. But the point I'm making in regards to Terrence Scroggins alone are multiple instances of involvement, contacted by LAPD to go after me, contacted with Sean Dincy, contacted by Karine Echigian, a therapist, to go after me. And now they're working some angle with Terrence Scroggins saying that he has PTSD, and now the psychology community is trying to say that I have PTSD. Do you think that's a little fucking weird? Ironically, I did look up on the internet the definition of Scrog or Scroggins, just because I know how they work with their mental illness tactics. And you'll find, this is kind of a side note, a Scrog, wait, what was it? Look it up. A Scrog has to do with something about marijuana and, actually, maybe I'll look it up now. Let's see. Where'd my, there it is. Scrog. Oh. Scrog. Definition. Because they do these double word. Oh, what do you mean off? I'm offline. Where? I'm offline. Okay, so look up Scrog. And it has to do with something with like marijuana and doing something with marijuana with it. Okay, now don't you think that's a little relevant? When at 29 they tried to have Rody Morales, LAPD tried to have Rody Morales plant a trash bag full of marijuana in my house. And Terrence Scroggins is running around. What does he do all day? And the LAPD is running around saying I'm a drug dealer for some reason. Don't you think that's a little strange? And by the way, why is the LAPD running around saying I'm a drug dealer? Because I talked to a girl when I lived in the University of Colorado named Christina Stalinsky, and I told her I smoked some joints with my friends at a few parties. So I smoked some joints with my friends at a few parties in University of Colorado, told a girl I would talk to all the time on IRC in Arizona. Remember, my father has family, has relatives. My relatives are all from Arizona. Think about that. And magically, after telling a girl on IRC that I talked to for years, named Christina Stalinsky, that I smoked weed a couple times, I'm magically on the level of Pablo Escobar and being hunted by the LAPD. Sound a little fucking strange? Okay, now, if you want to understand the dynamics, Skylar, redhead Skylar Stephanie, who's told to skull fuck me to death with the government, is close to my brother in Florida. Christina Stalinsky is close to my relatives and grandparents in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona, I think. You see the connections? People are contacting me on IRC trying to get dirt to use against me who are all connected to my family members. Okay, my cousins, my relatives, they're all coming. The internet comes around and they're saying, go spy on Kevin and get dirt to use against him. Okay, so anyways, a scrog has to do with marijuana. Rhodey Morales working with LAPD on his 29 and Mike Huntley trying to plant trash bags full of marijuana in my house. Failed. Terrence Scroggins trying to figure out what's in my house. My father trying to break in my house to plant shit on me. Upwards of 7 police break-in attempts with the police. Some manipulation, some actual coming up to my door, hopping the fence and coming up to my door trying to get in on video. Four of these are on video, and one of my father is on video trying to break in my house, trying to plant things in my house to frame me. Okay, so that was just, I think, I didn't want to go too far on Scroggins. He's just another number. Example, when they filed the restraining order from Scroggins and Bailey Bernard, I didn't even know who the restraining order was from because I had so many people fucking attacking me per day. Okay? You get the idea? And Richard Barnwell didn't want to bring that into the fucking courtroom. Like, I'm under fucking attack. There's a fucking worldwide mob. Okay, while he's yelling at me about my fucking plight. This reverse racist lawyer for the Cochran firm. Okay, so, and Brittany has witnessed that. She's witnessed his anger. She's witnessed, what's his fucking name? Seymour's anger towards me after paying him. Okay, so that's the connection. Scroggins is actually being paid off by people in the psychology community, as well as the LAPD. Okay, while he's trying to extort me out of my money with the HOA. Okay, so, father, family getting angrier the further I move away from them or distance myself. I kind of just gave you a little precursor here. The further I get away from my family, the angrier they get. Or the people that want me dead, like Mike Huntley or my brother. The angrier they get, the further I move away. I go to Southern Oregon State College. Okay, first of all, when I was 18, I was a little on autopilot, and I wasn't researching colleges myself, and my family sends me to some college counselors, which kind of sounds a little weird to me. And they pick like 3 schools. Maybe 4. All the schools were in California, and one was out of California, and that was Southern Oregon State. And I looked at all of them, and I said, I want to go to Southern Oregon State because it's different, and it's new, and it's a change. Now, I'm sure they've fabricated all sorts of cover-up bullshit, like everything else in life. But what I can tell you now is that those colleges were all controlled environments. Does that make sense? They were strategically planning to have Kelly Hatch follow me up, especially with my brother and my friends in school when I was in high school singing because her name's Kelly, 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 Kelly. Now, I never made the connection between them singing this Kelly song and Kelly Hatch because I was never friends with Kelly Hatch. I didn't know Kelly Hatch. She was a complete stranger. When I saw her in Southern Oregon State College, I just said, "You look familiar. Where do I know you from?" Never talked to her, never knew her friends, never knew her friends' friends. Well, actually, I think her friend Kirsten or something was in my class, my sociology class. That was it. This blonde, big titty girl, whatever. Okay, so that was it. Now, was Kelly spying on me for Kirsten or whatever? Kirsten Sanger? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Her last name's Sanger, Kirsten Sanger. Miss Tunic, Kirsten Sanger, Melody the stripper, and they're angry at me for listening to music. Kirsten Sanger was Kelly Hatch's friends. I was never friends with Kirsten Sanger. I was never friends with Kelly. She just looked really familiar. And we sort of became friends, but it turns out that Kelly Hatch had ulterior motives with the police to eradicate me. Okay, so back to the point. The colleges were set as control groups. Does that make sense? My family was saying, here's some options. You're on autopilot. Here's some options. We're sending people up and we're notifying people in these cities to do these things to you and try to make you look crazy or whatever. Okay, now, the point I'm making is that the further I move away from my family, you're 18, you go to college, the idea is you're 18, you go to college, you're trying to get away from your fucking family, right? That's the idea. If I wanted to be close to my family, I would say, "Mommy, I want to move in with you." Okay? I'm going to Colorado, I'm going to Oregon to get away from my family, but that's making them angry. They're losing control. Okay, now we all know there's control freaks out there, but this is to a whole fucking new level. Okay, there's no such thing as any of this. When I was in Southern Oregon State College, okay, so they put Kelly Hatch above me in the dorms, working some angle. And then when I moved to University of Colorado, and I find an apartment, one of them, on Broadway Street, they put a Kelly Hatch look-alike goth girl above me in that place, who's working the same angles as Kelly. Kelly Hatch is making up lies that I stole her Jeep Cherokee. This girl's leaving keys in her cars, parking it in front of my porch, in hopes she could get me to steal her car. Okay, if that's not insane, I don't know what is. And I got sidetracked. When I was in Southern Oregon State, I moved out of the dorms and finding an apartment. The people that wanted to be my roommate were working on me with my family to spy on me. So my family was paying off these girls or roommates to try to spy on me or set me up or make me look crazy. Well, the whole concept of going to fucking college is to get away and be your own person, right? Okay, I then moved to University of Colorado. I find a place on Arapahoe, close to the college, a walking distance to the college. And I have roommates, Eric, Feely, and Matt something. Matt was a big stoner. He wasn't being hunted by the police or NSA or anything. And so Matt and Eric are contacted to work on all these freaky angles, and they have a guy come in and squat and move me out of my room and not pay rent and try to get rid of me with the police and government. He was reported to the police. Of course, the police are coming after me for reporting him with my roommates. Does that sound a little strange? This guy didn't pay any rent. He squatted. He ran me out of my place. They had gay people come in, and I've now been hunted for 30 years by the gay community for not asking out a gay person that wanted me to ask him out. And while all this is happening, they finally get me out of my apartment. My mother just happens to know her friend's son, Noah Schiller, just happens to be living in Boulder, and, oh, hey, this guy ran you out of your house. Noah just happens to live here. You want to move in with him? Then Noah starts spying on me, making up lies and trying to set me up and frame me. Okay? Then I move into my place. That's when they have the goth girl from my astronomy class. It looks kind of sort of ish like Kelly Hashish, not really, but has kind of a sort of a double resemblance, but not really. Same long black hair down to her ass, things like that. She's told to move above me and try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo working all these angles, right? Okay? And, of course, her roommate's working on me with this anger shit who's also in my philosophy class, right? And, what else? Then, of course, Chad Bowers, a guy I meet in the art department. Oh, no, I meet him in the library doing IT, actually. But he's also in the art department. He's working on me with the photography teachers, and he offers me his place, and they're working on me with all sorts of freaky things. Anyways, I don't want to get into the specifics. My point is, all these things link back to Kevin's out trying to live his life, but the family with the police and government are doing all these demented things. We won't let you go. We won't let you live your fucking life. We keep reeling you back into people who have connections to your family, or we're paying off people to be your roommates to spy on you. And so all this information, like I'd go to my father's house after moving back to California, and him and Shelley would keep hinting about aspects of my relationship or living with Noah Schiller, and the things you were hinting about were these like accusations, which weren't even true. But like usual with their spy game tactic, but like usual, you can't have a counter argument if nothing's ever directly said, except you're a horrible monster and you need to die. Right? Kevin, you know what you did. Kevin, your past caught up with you. Kevin, you're a monster. Kevin, I think you're a danger to yourself or others. Okay. Daddy, Anita, Jason, whoever the fuck, can you give me a specific argument? A specific argument. You can't say your past caught up with you, and I'm not going to tell you what. Because then what you're trying to do is create obsession. Or create the appearance of obsession. Okay. By the way, these are all strategically thought out and premeditated with my family and their psychology degrees and the psychology community as psychological warfare operations. Okay, so that's a super high speed. The further I try to get away from my family or people, the more they come after me with strangers. The more Lorena Escobar is told to pay off cheerleaders at University of Colorado to try to provoke me and say things to try to get angry reactions, things that I could talk about for 100 years straight about that are unheard of. Okay, and that cheerleader was fucking hot, by the way. Okay, so anyways, Scroggins, father. Okay, I'm kind of getting close to the end of this, which is good. I'm getting tired. Roommates and spies. Well, I think I just got into that. Roommates being paid off to spy on me. What else? Psych. I don't even know what I was trying to get to here. Psych community cover-ups. Well, that's pretty much 42 years, right? Psychology community cover-ups. Everyone's on this "we protect our own" scam. I've never really seen this "we protect our own" scam except for in movies, right? Like usually if there's the Sean Dincey's running around paid off to kill you or silence you, usually people won't tolerate that, especially internal affairs. if your teacher, Mr. Quigley, in English class in 10th grade, is told to tell you to punch Paul Schaefer and you say no, to try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo and throw me in juvie or something, normally people won't stand for that. Normally your parents won't tolerate that. Normally your friends won't tolerate that. Normally the community won't tolerate that. Normally the teacher board or whatever won't tolerate that. In my life, they're mad at me having strangers run around threatening to have me killed, saying you're a snitch, you're dead, and shit like that. And these strangers don't even have a connection. The strangers don't even have a fucking connection with the teacher. I mean, Mr. Quigley's got to be like 80 years old now, and you're saying this 25-year-old kid running around with a police-trained canine is running around saying you're a snitch, you're dead, makes any sense? And remember, when people say, like, you're a snitch or you're a rat, those are people like Pablo Escobar and you're like his partner or something, right? That doesn't normally apply to some guy that went to University of Colorado and got into 3D animation and visual effects at Universal Studios, modern video film, and grew up in Calabasas and Hidden Hills. Do you understand? These are totally out of context things. They don't make sense. Like, people at Universal Studios are running around, we tried to kill you and you're a snitch, you're dead. We did all these things with fake pilots. We did these frame jobs with Wes Craven and Brian Longbotham. You're a snitch, you're dead. Wait, so none of you at Universal Studios or in the communities think that Brian Longbotham, what he did with Wes Craven, with the O.J. Simpson frame jobs and things like that, you don't think that's wrong? The only thing that you think is wrong is me finding out that they're doing this to my name and reputation, and I'm a snitch, I'm dead. That doesn't make any... That doesn't logically or rationally make any sense amongst the masses. The masses are running around saying, Kevin, you're a snitch or you're dead because you found out there's a 42-year kill operation or eradication operation to exterminate you. That doesn't make sense. First of all, that's not the definition of a snitch or a rat, of a snitch or rat anyways, right? But not only that, they're not associated with the people that I would be a rat to. So what do they care? And 90% of the people out there don't live out of the movie The Untouchables, going, you're a snitch, you're dead, or you're a rat. Especially the ones with families and kids. Okay, so it's weird. So it says that something else is going on, that it's all skull fucking or brainwashing, right? And I'm at the end of the list here, but I just had a thought pop in my head and I just lost that thought. What was it? This is a completely different tangent. I believe there's a reason my father chose Lorena Escobar. Lorena Escobar is not his office manager since I was 16, is not associated with Pablo Escobar. When my father's sending Adriana Olivares after me, saying I want you to meet Adriana in hopes that he could hook me up with her, and Adriana preaching that her father's a drug dealer and then threatening my life with movie references like Quills or Vanilla Sky. Do you see the weird, freaky, we're trying to make my son look crazy because Lorena Escobar, the name, and Adriana pretending her father's a drug dealer, right? Okay, why would Ronald Barry Perlman, Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, hire, let's just pick one, Pablo Escobar's daughter to be his office manager? I don't think so. Okay, now we also have Lenore Calderon saying weird things to me, that you're the doctor's son and you're the boss, and I'm like, will you fucking grow up already, right? Okay, so what if they're just trying to remember, my family's early arguments when I was at 5 years old are lies that I conform to media, so they're trying to make me say things or trying to make me look crazy, right? So why are they doing it? Well, it's just out of pure hate and rage, I guess. But I guess I totally lost that thought, and that's okay, because there'll be 100 million other ones that need to be talked about publicly. And I guess that's it. And if the thought comes back, I'll turn this thing on, but I don't think it will, because I was pretty deep in conversation. I was focusing deep in conversation, and they don't want me focusing. Interesting. Okay, so let's figure out where the stop button is. And like I said, if that thought comes back in a few minutes, I'll turn this on. And so that is pretty much it. It is October 23rd. They're diverting their 2-3 tactics, trying to make me look crazy on that one as well. I believe it probably started from the whole tip thing that I was telling the people in the psychology community about, how they were angry about, how they were never happy about getting the right amount of tip because they just wanted all my money and then hunting me down for it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. October 23rd, Wednesday, 2019. Okay, so I just wanted to add one quick note about the tips. I think I forgot the very last part, which is extremely important. Okay, so let's say I tip a waitress. I buy a scotch. I tip a waitress $2, which is a pretty fucking good tip on a scotch. Like $7, $2 tip, whatever. Obviously, it depends on the scotch. Whatever. Glass of wine, scotch, beer, whatever. Okay, so I'm not happy with $2. You've ruined my life. Now we have to hunt you down and kill you. Well, why are you hunting me down with paranoid schizo tactics? Because you're not happy with your tip. Okay, so I'm going to try to make you happy. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give you fucking $3. Or someone else. Because remember, it's not one psycho. It goes from person to person. Worldwide. Oh, you ruined my life because now you gave me $3. Okay, so you're not happy with $2. So let me rephrase that. None of you are happy with $2 and I've wronged you. None of you are happy with $3, so I've wronged you. Okay, well, fuck you. I'm not giving you any more of my money that I don't have to give you if you're going to shit on me for giving you my money that I don't have to give you in the first place, because tips are a gratuity based on your service. Making me feel happy, giving me my fucking drink, not spitting in my fucking face. Right? Nobody fucking demands a tip. You better tip me. $2 isn't enough. $3 is enough. You bought a $7 scotch, so you gotta tip me $100,000 in your house and your car, or we're gonna hunt you down and kill you. Because that's the real underlying message between all of this. It's not you wronged me somehow by giving me $2, and I'm going to try to make you wonder what you've done to me because you're a violent paranoid schizo. It's I want all your fucking money or I'm going to kill you. Right? Isn't that what it's really about? Okay, so $2 isn't enough. $3 isn't enough. And then all of a sudden, you're not tipping us. You're an asshole for not tipping us. Well, wait a minute. I'm trying to give you my money. I'm trying to be nice. But no matter what I do, you're going to hunt me down and kill me. Right? And obviously when I say you, I'm talking about these mass groups. So the point is, and with the police and NSA and FBI, where things really get, and the psychology community, where shit really gets fucking strange, right? Okay, so that's my punishment for trying to be nice and doing what everyone does, tip gratuity based on good service. But if the service is shit, if they're fucking spitting in your food and shitting in your drink or whatever, they're not going to get a fucking tip. And if then they come after you, you're an asshole for not tipping me, so I'm going to come after you and notify everyone to do these things to you. Well, then you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a thug and a bully and a murderer who just wants your fucking money. They don't want to work for your money, and they're just coming after you. Or they're coming after you because they don't like your kind or something. Now, one more final note. This thing going on the last 4 months. Kevin, you said something mean and you committed the saying a mean thing crime. Well, let me fucking tell you. If I did say something mean, or there was a miscommunication, or whatever, and this person has been following me for 42 years, or me saying fuck you to my mother at 14, the one and only kind of sort of mean thing ever to my mother, and they're following me from place to place with worldwide murder groups, it's not because I said something mean. It's because some motherfucking obsessed murderer wants me dead, and their feelings were hurt, and they've invested their entire fucking life, since I was 5, no less, their entire fucking life to eradicate my existence. And I can guarantee you, it's not because Kevin Perlman said a mean thing. So the point is, while these worldwide coordinated strategic murder operations with billions of government dollars, NSA, FBI, every police officer on every police force, the entire psychology community is running around saying Kevin said a mean thing when he was 5 or 10 or whatever. That's what you call hate, rage, obsession, whatever. It's not because I said a mean thing. Even if I did once in a blue moon say something mean, which is very rare for me. And yes, once in a while I say a mean thing, and dealing with asshole murderers trying to kill me, I end up saying mean things to defend myself. But the bottom line is, there's no such thing as you committed the mean thing crime. There's just someone's feelings were hurt, or someone doesn't like you, and they're trying to use their obsessed hate and rage, especially after 42 years and worldwide support, as justification to kill someone or eradicate someone. And I have never in my life seen a situation where worldwide groups are all conspiring together saying that guy said something mean 40 years ago. I've never heard of that. I'm sorry. I've never heard of a mass worldwide conspiracy with billions of government dollars and the psychology community because someone's feelings were hurt about something when I was 5 years old or something. Or for argument's sake, let's say 16. Let's say at 16 I said something mean. And I'm 47, and there's still worldwide coordinated kill operations. Do you really think that Kevin's being hunted by worldwide support for saying the mean thing crime? No, absolutely not. Only obsessed murderers run around obsessing on things like, you said fuck you to me 30 years ago, I'm gonna kill you. You said fuck me to me 30 years, I'm gonna kill you. Right? Who knows, maybe I went out on a date with a bitch. Maybe I went out on a date with a girl and like Stephanie Schuyler, the redhead from hunting me from Florida with my brother and the police, going to skull fuck me to death. And she said, Kevin, if you want to be friends with me, I'm going to treat you like shit. And I said, well, get the fuck away from me, never talk to me, never call me, whatever. Maybe she thinks I said something mean to her, even though I know exactly what she's doing by changing her name to Schuyler after I'm joking around taking a meteorology class and asking people why the sky is blue. And then her following me with my brother and family from Florida on IRC, changing her name to Schuyler and stalking me. Let's say I said a mean thing to her, even though I didn't. If this girl has now been hunting me, that I was 24 years old, maybe younger. If I'm 47 now, there's worldwide support to have me killed because Schuyler says I said something mean to her with every police officer on the planet? I don't fucking think so. First of all, even if I did say something mean to Skylar, and she's following me for the last 30 years to have me killed, that's obsession, hate, rage, and a murderer. Being that the police are helping her, and the psychology community, and NSA, FBI, what is it really about? It's about flagging kill operations since 5 years old. But there's no such thing as a you said something mean crime, and there's no such thing as you didn't tip some piece of shit that is spitting in your food and hinting that you need to die or whatever, and then going, well, you committed the you didn't tip a waitress crime, right? No such fucking thing. All these things don't make any sense because they're not really about anything, just psychological flagging and extermination operations since 5 years old. So I'll end it there. I just wanted to end that to the ending, especially with the tip thing, to sort of make people understand that I'm always in the right, but these people have been given some kind of license to kill me with the government for no reason at all, and it's all very strange because no matter how good I am, they're just going to keep making up newer and newer lies with worldwide support, and that's where things break down and get strange with worldwide support. How do they know me? If some waitress is mad because I didn't tip her and she's a piece of shit, how is it that she has worldwide armies to kill me? With the police, government, NSA, FBI, you name it. Right? It's not about any of that noise. They're all government flagging and extermination operations since 5 years old. Period. And I'll end it here.